Speaking of which, welcome YouTube and Twitchers.
Welcome.
Welcome back, Twitchers. I don't know what happened last week, but I had to reconnect us.
It was broken. It's the internet. It's the ghost in the machine. That's Sandy Martin. I don't know how it lays out, but over here is Sandy Martin. Or she could be over there.
She's on my left.
Or she could be up there. Hey, boys and girls, it's the Chris and Mike Show. I'm Chris, he's Mike, and with us today is Sandy Martin. Just so you know, this show is, oh man, I screwed that up. A portion of the show is brought to you by Riverside FM, the one and only choice for podcast platforms. Remember, we are live on Twitch, YouTube, and our own personal website, chrisandmikeshow.com. So if you happen to just go to our website, you can watch the show live there as well. And then this will drop, I believe Mike said this is going to drop Sunday?
Actually, Sunday. Yeah, we're
Sunday.
right on top of things right now.
You're the quickest turnaround show ever, Sandy, so no pressure on you at all.
Welcome, Sandy.
Welcome,
Thanks
Sandy.
for having me.
So we're going on a 30-floor elevator ride from the first floor to the 27th. You got that amount of time to tell us why you're here, what you're all about, and what we're going to chat about today. 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, I think most people who are trying to fix something with their health are getting it all backwards. I think everything starts with what we stop. I think the biohacking industry has been, it's something that people, it's a dirty word.
Okay.
Hacking might as well be the F word.
Oh.
People are upset at the idea that people would hack, and I started my health business in biohacking, and I did that because I had a brain injury after running Comic-Cons. I'm all over the place this morning.
Wow.
I think I got a little nervous because it's live. I didn't realize I was going to be live.
Oh, don't be nervous.
This is how everyone knows it's real and not AI, right?
We are
we get
real, raw, and irrelevant, as I like to say.
That's part of our charm is there's a little bit of chaos within the structure.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so I'll say
better.
that everything you can do to better yourself starts with something you say no to.
Oh, I like that.
And so it's a different concept. And I came to this after a couple of years of presenting exhibitors trying to push products on people, which I thought was a great idea because in my own experience, I was just fumbling through the internet trying to find stuff. And I thought if I put them all in a room, it would help people figure out what's best for themselves.
Give me an example of what you're talking about, Sandy.
Yeah.
So there are things that we can do. Everybody knows what a vitamin is.
Yes.
We call them supplements now because we've got a wide variety of options that aren't just your typical vitamins and minerals.
Right.
You could take alpha GPC for a brain boost, or you could take omega-3s for, fish oil for heart health, or there are all kinds of things. So we'll call them supplements, and that's one category. And the other category would be devices, like a red light device, or
I like red light.
Yes.
Or a pulsed electromagnetic frequency, PEMF device, or a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, or something that would be designed to activate your body on a different kind of a level. A lot of that can be done with exercise.
Okay.
A lot of things are, most of what benefits us is free. Our bodies have a natural intelligence, and our bodies send signals, accurate intelligence reports that tell us when something's off.
Okay.
And so a problem is a signal that something else needs to change. Usually stopping something harming us is the best place to start. But there's this whole industry of stuff you can buy, and there are all these companies trying to push things on people. And I'm culpable because I assemble them in a room in a trade show setting.
Oh.
And so in bringing them all into a room, I'm upsetting my exhibitors at this moment. I'm confusing the marketplace. You put 50 to 100 different companies in a room that are like, do this for your health, do that for your health.
Yeah.
If you just take the supplement, if you just sit in front of this light, if you just breathe this thing, if you put hydrogen in your water, I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. People walk out more confused.
Yes, they do.
So after 2 years of that, I realized that I needed to put some order into this. And so I came up with the EDGE framework. My second book is called Biological Edge. And EDGE stands for Eliminate, Decode, Gain, and Execute. And so I'd love to talk at length about things we can stop and pick your brains about things we can stop so that we can feel better.
Please.
And then once we reduce some of the noise after maybe getting some fragrances or plastics or heavy metals out of our water, air, etc., we can feel different and start to understand what's happening with our bodies.
That's amazing.
I don't know about you, but
yeah, go ahead.
Being over 50, I refuse to accept that I should be tired in the evenings or that my joints should ache. But I think this is a normal mentality for people. Once you get to a certain age, those things are normal. I don't accept it.
Yeah. So when and you can correct me, but Mike and I have had this conversation before, and I'm sure you feel the same way. When we were kids, when we were at that 12-year-old mark, whatever, everybody when they hit 40 had the over the hill party, right? And black balloons and shit. Like you had 10 years left, and then you hit
100%.
55, and then you leave. You move from the house and you move into the retirement community, and then you're dead within 10 years.
Yeah.
And you could see. You could see when they turn 40, all of a sudden the hair turns gray, and then when they're 50, they're in walkers and shit. It's crazy. Now, I'm a little different in the sense that I'm 21 years sober, but when I got sober 21 years ago, my entire addiction turned to fitness. So I'm that guy. When I was 53 years old, I ran a mile in under 6 minutes. I could run a half marathon in an hour and 48 minutes. 8% body fat, and doing 75 hard twice, then I stretched fractured my foot, so that kind of knocked me off for a little while. But I still work out, still do everything I've been doing. But so nobody's ever guessed that I'm over 50. And then when I tell them I have grandkids, they're like, "You're too young to have grandkids." And I was like, "Well, actually, my daughter had her first child when I was 50, so she was 25, which my wife and I got married at 20 and 25." So that's kind of, we started young. So people are surprised that we're as old as we are, but it's because of the way we live. Like, we don't drink, we don't smoke. We're very clean. We eat very clean. I mean, we don't eat shit. We every now and then eat shit because, you just do. But on a whole, it's like my diet is eggs in the morning. I have some type of chicken and rice for lunch. And then I have healthy snacks, apples and nuts through the day. And then whatever we have at night, but we don't go to fast food. We don't eat fried food, we air fry fish and stuff like that. But I think it's all kind of geared towards how you live too. And what you put in is what you get out. Right. So
what you take out matters too. You took out the alcohol.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Made a huge difference.
I come across people that are my age and it's like, holy shit, you look like you're 75.
Oh, for sure.
And alcohol,
especially if they drink every day.
Right. And smoke. Like Sean Penn, prime example, that dude smokes and drinks like nobody's business. We're about the same age. And Sean Penn looks like he's 80 years old. I saw an interview with him after the movie, Every Other Battle, whatever, was a great movie, but it blew my mind how old he is and just how old he looks. Just mind-boggling.
Well, the other thing is stress. Look at that famous picture of Bill Clinton and Sammy Hagar next to each other.
Oh, yeah.
They're like a year apart.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, it's fantastic. They're like a year apart, and Bill Clinton looks like he's about 97, and Sammy looks like he's about 57. And I think they're 70 and 71 in the photos.
Oh, wow. Well, the presidency will age you.
Well, that's why I bring that up, because stress is even the underlying stress of just the everyday going to work and the grind, and people don't realize that they're stressed subliminally almost. It's just, it's there and they don't realize it because I have to be here, I have to be there, I have to, and they never stop to take 10 seconds for themselves either.
Well,
I agree with everything Chris said. Nutrition is so important and it's so overlooked. And we've had people like yourself who have had their own take on, longevity and how to remain younger longer. But all the things that you brought up are pretty similar to the things that they brought up as well.
Mm-hmm. I was taking my mom to hyperbaric oxygen therapy after she had a stroke. So it's not that I don't think we should do these advanced therapies, because I think they're very helpful when called for. And we got her better in 4 weeks with that therapy. But on the way there, she said, Sandy, stress can kill you. I was like, yeah, I know, Mom. She goes, no, I mean it. Stress can kill you.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I get it. She goes, no, I'm serious. Stress can kill you. And I said, yes, Mom, it can cause a heart attack or stroke. And she said, oh, I wish I'd known.
Oh.
Huh.
She didn't know. And
so she was making the statement like did you know? She was trying to say, did you know?
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so when she got better, and I think maybe brain injuries are good for the women in my family. We can go into how I had a brain injury too. But following her recovery, she stopped hating my dad.
Oh.
So that's lovely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
X number, I think I got married in 1969. Wow. So that was a long time to be agitated every day of your life.
Yeah.
And they go grocery shopping together. Like, that's the last thing anybody wants to do with my dad. He looks at every label, every price. How much sugar, how much salt, what does this cost? He's really annoying. And she's like, whatever. Whatever?
So what was your mom's brain injury?
She had a stroke in her left pons.
Okay.
And I had a PEMF device that I was keeping there for a while to help my dad with his osteoporosis.
Okay.
And she felt a little dizzy one day and was like, oh, I guess I'll sit on this thing. And so she did a session on it, but her dizziness didn't clear up. And by the next day, her speech started to slur.
Oh.
And we think that if she had not sat on that device when it first happened, she might have had, she could have had locked-in syndrome. That's what you can have when you have a stroke in your left pons. It could have been really, really bad. But there was nothing they could do for it either, because she spent 24 hours having a stroke before she realized it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Made it to the hospital, and then they did the CT with contrast and all the things that they do. She'd had an MRI a year prior. Her doctor said, there's nothing anatomically wrong with your brain. We knew there was something off, but the doctors don't do enough testing to tell us what's actually wrong with us. And it's not their fault. The insurance companies govern what they're allowed to do.
100%.
But
they're just practicing medicine too. Like, people think doctors like they should know everything, but they're practitioners.
Yeah.
You're not.
Same thing
exactly.
with doctors, lawyers. It's the practice of medicine, the practice of law. That leaves them open to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody knows everything unless you watch The Pit and Noah Wiley's character. He knows it all. Every single episode.
He has the script.
Every single moment of the day. When he started, remember when he was an intern in Chicago at, I forget what the hospital, and now he's like head of Pittsburgh. It's like he moved further to the East Coast and got completely burned out.
It's good to be the star.
Funny. That's funny. Yeah.
At least you caught that. At least you caught that, Sandy. Some people don't catch my random conversations like about the Bundys.
Sometimes he catches you so by surprise. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So she just decided that nothing was worth getting worked up about anymore. Now,
That's cool.
a year later, she's not as good at letting shit go. But
so
last year
that's
she was
something
much
you
better
have
at
to
it.
practice every day, because not only is it the letting things go, but it's the underlying negativity that will also kill you.
Yeah.
I had to learn that lesson the hard way, because I became negative about everything, and I looked around and there was nobody left. I was sitting there by myself thinking, well, shit, I guess I'm the problem, right?
That's awfully insightful.
Well, I had no other choice. At that point, Sandy, I had no other choice, because seriously, there was one person left in my life that I really could count on, and I'm talking to him now. You know, we were starting to put another band together.
Yeah.
It just was the lowest point in my life. I've seen other people at that point, and you just feel for them, because you know, if you don't change the way you think and realize that every day is a new beginning, you're never going to move forward. So many people live in their past, or worse yet, carry around that negativity. Everything is somebody else's fault. They screwed me. The government screwed me. My family screwed me. Well, what are you going to do about it? You know, I was smart enough to look in the mirror and say, I guess I'm the problem, and I'm going to become a positive person. I'm going to try to be nice to everybody, even if they disrespect me. I'm not going to let them have any power over me. I'm not going to be friends with them, but I'm going to be kind as much as I can. I'm following his shirt, right?
Yeah. Well, I was a raging bitch until I got mold in my brain.
Oh shit! I read a little bit about that. You
Yes,
spent
talk
like
to
almost
us
100.
about that for sure.
Yeah, well, I want to preface it though. She spent almost $100,000 trying to figure out what was wrong,
Yeah.
and then you realized it was mold.
Right. And
So how did?
getting better cost nearly nothing. And
Yeah.
part of what I spent was $27,000 on a hyperbaric oxygen chamber, because they prescribed 20,000 in treatment. And I thought, well, I'll spend the extra 7, have it at home, and then other people can benefit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I owned a
You still
company.
have it?
My ex-husband has it.
Wow,
It was
bastard! He got in a divorce.
It was too big. He'll let me take it back anytime I
Okay.
want, but it's
I was
it's
say
like
I got a
2
truck.
tons.
You know.
The thing is so heavy and
It
so
weighs
big.
4,000 pounds.
I think it might be
Wow.
2,000, but it's a lot.
Wow.
That's still
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, we had to keep it at the warehouse, not
Okay.
actually at home, because we couldn't get it into the home. So he has it
Gotcha.
in one of his office spaces. We were running Comic Cons together, and
Oh, gotcha.
that's a really stressful kind of an event to run. 50,000 people in a weekend.
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ours was GalaxyCon.
Okay. So what's
And
GalaxyCon? So I don't know. So what's GalaxyCon?
GalaxyCon is like a Comic-Con,
Okay.
but whereas most Comic-Cons are
It's dress up and.
it's the same as that, but
Okay.
they have limited hours and limited content.
Okay.
This is from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. Something happening in 10 different rooms at the same time.
Okay.
50,000
Cool.
people running around. It's a major undertaking.
Right on.
We were doing fantasy cosplay wrestling, and celebrities on stage, and
Wow. Right on.
kids teaching other kids how to create costumes or play games, or just
Nice.
everything. It's really a lot of fun. But
Right
that's his baby, and I helped him with it for a long time. And I really felt like the pooper scooper of the business. Like, felt like the guy that goes behind the horse in the parade and just kind of just scoops up the poop. And
Gotcha.
I felt like really stressed and responsible for everything that had to take place. And
Okay.
I was a raging bitch.
Okay.
And then COVID hit. We had to convert the whole thing. We had to refund 400 grand in tickets. We had to
Oh.
convert it
Ouch.
all virtual. Talk about stress. So
Yeah.
I built an e-commerce system to make it
Okay.
work. And then
Nice.
in the next month, I couldn't run reports on the system I built. And I didn't know what happened. But
Oh.
I suddenly couldn't function. Like,
Weird.
everything about thinking was
Yeah.
off. And
Out of nowhere.
thinking out of nowhere.
Weird.
And so
That
I
is
thought,
crazy.
oh, I fried a circuit. I've
Yeah.
been working so hard.
Yeah.
I just finally blew it. Like, my brain is done. Let me take some time off. Took
Sure.
a day off, a couple days off, took 2 weeks off. Got worse.
You probably should. Oh, really? You
Yeah.
time off got worse?
I got worse
That's strange.
because I wasn't burnt out. I had mold in my brain,
Oh.
but I didn't
yeah.
know what
Okay.
was going on. I didn't
How do you get-
understand.
Yeah.
I had painted an area that was wet,
Okay.
and I didn't know that it must have been wet for decades. Like,
Mm.
it was just a danger zone. But mold exists behind the walls, but it can go through the air and can
Right.
be in there. And someone who's an expert on it explained to
Yeah.
me that it was probably because I was painting in the area
Oh God.
that those paint fumes took it directly into my brain through my optic nerve or my
Wow.
sinuses.
Crazy.
And so I went to a screeching halt.
Okay.
And then I believe, I have no basis for knowing, no ability. There's no test that will tell you, but I believe that the inflammation that the mold traveled, because it eats, like it feeds off of us whether we are alive or dead. So it doesn't
Really?
care either way. And so it went to the most active part of my brain. So
Wow.
everything I knew to be me got real quiet,
Oh.
and I couldn't make judgments. I couldn't make decisions. I
Okay.
couldn't decide what goes in that field in that spreadsheet, right? Like it wasn't just that I couldn't decide what car to buy, which was also a thing. I had my brother pick a car for me because I had to trade in a lease and get something new.
Damn.
Yeah.
I couldn't make the decision on my own. And so I picked somebody who I trusted and let him
Okay.
decide.
Yeah.
And then I spent 5 months trying to figure out what was wrong with me before I stumbled on Dave Asprey's book, and he described his situation with mold. I got tested for that, and sure enough, I had the mold, and I was able to start to heal.
What was
So
the
what-
time
what-
frame
Yeah, go ahead.
between you painting and this first day that you noticed?
2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay.
So
And
how?
so I was
so
like
I'm
fatigued,
curious.
but by
I'm
2
curious
weeks I
to-
was toast.
I'm curious to know how. So you breathe it in, right? You're breathing in the mold, and then it just decides to find a place to your brain.
So so most people who have a moldy environment,
Okay.
they gradually get sick.
Right.
It's small doses.
Yeah.
They get it over time. It builds up.
But you disturbed it by painting it, right?
The paint fumes themselves were a carrier.
They picked it up and stuck it right in your nose, and it went right to your brain
Yes.
instantly.
Also my optic nerve. So I don't know if you know, but your eyeballs are actually part of your brain.
Okay.
Really?
I guess I did not. No.
I did not know that.
Yep, they're directly attached to the brain.
That's why we do this. There's my one thing I learned new today. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And they found it on my optic nerve. So
Wow.
that's
Oh.
one of the ways they test for it. Yeah, and so I went to a neurologist. I figured out I was sick mid-October. By mid-November, I was at a neurologist's office, had a brain scan. They performed the
Yeah.
brain scan wrong, and so I was misdiagnosed with a TBI.
Okay.
He had done an intake. I'd hit my head when I was 10. He was like, "Oh, it's come back to haunt you. I see it all the time." I'm like, "No."
And how old were you when this started happening?
I was
Just
45.
perspective. Okay, so 35 years later, he's trying to say this came back. Wow.
Practicing.
Practitioners.
Yes.
And so I refused to accept that diagnosis. I refused to take the drug he prescribed.
Good job.
And I set out to figure this out on my own. And it
Yeah.
was slow because my brain wasn't processing. I still had my intellect,
Okay.
but my ability to discern was off. So I could read and take notes
Okay.
and review them,
Yeah.
but it didn't flow like we understand
Weird.
information to be absorbed and digested and integrated.
So it kind of got stuck. It got stuck from the eyes to the translation.
Yeah.
It just kind of like I'm reading it all. I'm seeing it all. I think I'm grasping the concept, but then
Not
once it went to
processing.
process, it's just kind of lays there.
Yep.
That's a trip.
That would be
That is
so
such a
frustrating.
Wow. That
You
would be
described it
terrible.
very well.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. That's a trip. That's just
Yeah.
wow. I can't imagine that. That would be frustrating on its own.
And
It
so
had to
I
be,
thought,
right?
I just need to optimize my brain. Oh,
Okay.
it was extremely frustrating.
It's like when you're
Yeah.
sitting there waiting for a file to upload on your computer and it just never ends.
I called it buffering.
Yeah, that's it.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's what
Buffering.
he just
Okay.
described. It's
Okay.
there's no processing. It never ends.
Right. Right.
Okay. Interesting.
That would be horribly frustrating.
Yes. I went on a wild goose chase to figure out what was wrong with me. And
The fact you didn't go crazy is a testament to your willpower.
thank you.
It
Yeah.
really is.
I
Yeah,
was
'cause
really, really dedicated to two ideas. One, it wasn't me because my first symptom was depression.
Okay.
Sure.
I felt depressed.
Anybody
I see
would.
that.
The
see
brain
that.
wants to close the loop. it
Right.
doesn't like uncertainty. So I had a sensation in my emotional and physical body that
Okay.
said, my brain said, oh, we've been here before. That's
Mm.
depression. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. And so I had to argue with my brain quite a bit.
Okay.
And then I really just wouldn't accept that at 45, that was the end of me.
Yeah, that's good.
It
So
came on
you're
so
stubborn.
suddenly. I am sometimes.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I think we all have that in common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm no longer a raging bitch. I might
Okay.
be an occasional pain in the ass,
Yeah.
but no longer a raging bitch.
How long did it take for the now is the mold gone? Does it just what you did made it just disappear?
It started to go down. I had 2 tests and it was
Okay.
lessened the second time I took a test. But
Okay.
I'm going based on how I feel.
Okay.
And I'm almost just afraid to know.
Mm.
Like if I still have mold, but feel fine and I'm
Yeah.
doing all the right things, then maybe
You
there's
don't
a
want it to trigger you.
psychosomatic thing that
Yeah,
makes
yeah, yeah.
me,
Yep.
I,
I get that.
I'm
You don't
It
want the
could be a
so
trigger.
psychological
Right.
proactive.
part
No.
Right.
Yeah,
creeping
because it
back
could
in.
trigger you. Yeah, it could trigger
Yeah.
you thinking, "Oh gosh, here I go again," and then you're automatically your mind's going to shift that way. Because why wouldn't it? It's human nature, right? Like, oh shit,
Right.
now I got to do this again. Here we go again.
Right.
That's crazy.
Have you guys ever had any mysterious illnesses?
I don't know. I
No,
don't
the
know.
more I talk to people like yourself who have, I know you didn't have TBI, but I've taken some pretty serious shots to the head that I never really gave any credence to until I started learning how serious even one of those is, you know? And then I think back to some of the impulsiveness in my life and things that I can't explain. All those
Mm.
things make sense now that I understand that, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't beat myself up so bad for some of the what I considered stupid decisions at the time, you know, or why did you do that that really made my life take a turn, a hard left turn or a hard
Mm.
right turn that I didn't anticipate just because I made one decision or another. I give myself credit for that, those moments now, you know, and you don't beat yourself up and be so negative about not being smart, or that has nothing to do with it. You know, you think differently than other people. But I think that same curse was also a gift in that I've never been able to explain how I can play an instrument or how I understand sound and how something should sound good. And I'd look at somebody else who thinks that something sounds good, and I wonder, how do you not know that that sounds bad? Right? So I think that there was a gift that kind of came along with that curse as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Because
Interesting.
if they, it would be really interesting to see inside of your brain and see the balance between the default mode network and the frontal lobe.
I
Because that
should
default mode network is where that creativity happens.
I should definitely go, you know, again to a neurologist. I went after I was in a bad car accident, and I was more concerned about what happened in the accident than,
Sure.
you know, I wasn't thinking about anything we're talking about. No, I've learned that probably in the last 5 to 6 years, you know, just through listening to podcasts myself with doctors who understand this. And
I really love Dr. Daniel Amen and what he does with SPECT scans. It's really fascinating to see personality show in which regions of the brain are quiet or active. Really fascinates me.
yeah, I'm with you. I would definitely like to see what that looks like in my case.
Yeah, so I pulled up one of your pages, Sandy, the 15 biological systems.
Yeah. What
So
I
yeah, go ahead. I want you to kind of elaborate on these things without spending too much time on each one, because obviously there's 15 of them. But I think what you're sharing with us is fascinating. Number one, and so as I scroll to this, I stop because this just is fascinating to me. So what you're doing is kind of addressing all these 15 biological systems to have better longevity and healthier life.
what I hope to do by outlining the systems, which I
Okay.
pulled together using AI. Like I don't
Okay.
I don't have the education or experience to be able to explain to you how the detoxification system of the body works.
Okay.
I know a little bit about the nervous system, a little bit about breath and circulation, but not to the degree to which we can dive in on the website.
Okay.
But my goal with identifying the systems was to identify how they interrelate
Oh,
and what kinds of activities can enhance multiple systems.
okay.
And so, if you reduce sugar in your diet, how many systems is affected? If you
Oh, okay.
increase your hydration, how far does that go?
Okay.
Considering that it's your emotional system and your stress response are two different things, and how our hormones coordinate the functioning of our cells is not something I'm equipped to describe, but what I am interested in is getting people to understand that optimizing any of these, and you can go through and look at the EDGE framework in each one, is that everything starts with what we stop, and then we can decode what's happening in our bodies. And only then do I believe we should start adding. Like, I really love the idea of hyperbaric therapy for a traumatic brain injury. I think it's wonderful. But when I was misdiagnosed with a TBI and I put HBOT on my brain, it gave me headaches because mold fights back.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it gave me headaches.
Yay,
Right.
mold.
So waste
The
of money
gift
there.
that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't, it helped after I got the mold out,
Right.
but not before.
Okay.
And so I also have, there's a link at the top for Decoder, and I built an AI chat based on these systems and this information, so that if you type in something, I don't know, you might want to do this. If you click on Decoder.
Well, let's do it while we're live, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Did that share? Did that share?
Click on
Yes.
Get Clarity.
I want to make sure it's shared because cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I click something, it won't share it.
We'll let you know because we won't be able to see it.
So you want me to click on Get Clarity?
Yeah.
Okay. So just type in something. Oh, right here. What are you experiencing?
Type in anything you're feeling, and
I'm gonna do this for someone I know who's over the age of 50, and it has to do with the menopause thing.
Okay.
Why you gotta give away all my secrets?
Let's give.
That was personal, dude.
I'm sorry. So hip pain and menopause together, there's likely a lot going on. Where exactly does the pain sit deep in the joint along the outer hip or more lower back area? I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna say deep. Whoops. This is fascinating, Sandy.
Yeah, that's really cool.
This is designed to give you, so after 3 responses, it'll give you a summary. So I want you to give
deep joint.
more
So
answer.
deep joint pain that connects into the lower back is noted. How long has it been present, and did it come on gradually, or did something specific seem to trigger it? Came on gradually with
That was my
age.
choice as well. Good choice.
Yep. Okay, so those of you,
it's going to start a summary and identifying the systems of the body that are related now that you've given it 3 responses, and it will continue to ask you questions.
Okay.
What this presumes is that your body is accurately sending intelligence reports about what's happening.
Oh, okay.
And that pain is an appropriate signal, not a problem. If you're having hip pain, your body's telling you to pay attention to what we don't generally know.
Right.
And interesting that you bring up menopause. I have a very contrarian view about menopause.
Okay.
I believe it's not a disease. It's not a disorder. But we're treated as if it is because our health system can't give a drug unless it diagnoses a problem.
Right.
And so in order to sell us hormones, they have to label us as problemed in order to give us the hormones to make it better. I'm not anti-hormone therapy.
Right.
But I do believe it's like taking an Advil for pain. I think it's just symptom treatment.
So even if the hormones, taking the hormones actually have had a benefit in this person.
Hmm. Yeah, so does
Okay.
Advil. Takes away pain,
Oh, good point.
right?
Good point.
So we'll reduce the fever. Well, but what
Mm,
are we addressing and what's going on?
gotcha.
Women seem to me to be designed by nature to have
Hmm.
these hormones fall off.
Okay.
And over a certain age, once we're postmenopausal, they don't encourage us to keep taking the hormones. We can, some
Right.
do, but it's this painful mid period that's being diagnosed and treated. And I think that a lot of that pain and suffering is coming from high inflammation. And I think
Hmm.
that the estrogen levels that we've had so that we could, I don't know, maybe birth babies through a famine, maybe that protective layer makes us less likely to feel pain.
Okay.
And then when those hormones fall away, all of the damage we've done to ourselves through stress and diet and drinking and whatever else we do, maybe we suddenly just feel the damage we've been doing all along.
Right.
And so I would encourage anyone my age, younger, to say, okay, I'm having a hot flash.
Hmm.
What did I eat today? Did I get stressed out? What's going on? Is there,
Food journal.
yeah.
Okay.
And then is there something I can do to minimize the symptoms beyond just going straight to hormones?
Huh. Interesting. And
So
that's typical, and that's basically what you did with your situation, right? Because you had all the doctor, and then you decided, you know what, stop. Instead of doing that, let's find a natural way to resolve this issue without pumping myself full of the drugs and the chemicals that we all know the pharmaceutical companies are $1 trillion industry a year, because America is, let's make sure you're
yeah.
unhealthy so we can generate all this income, whereas
Well,
opposed to all the other countries in the
Well,
around the
one
world,
thing
well, I
that's the
can,
opposite.
One
I
thing
can,
that she just said that we hear all the time is inflammation. And what
Yeah.
is most inflammation caused by? Your diet.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And what's in
Interesting.
the water and what's in the air. And, it's not
Right.
just the diet, but I mean, we do eat
Right.
every day.
Yes, we do
Um,
eat. We do eat food every
most
day.
of
We have
us.
to. We have to.
So the
That's
I made
interesting.
reference earlier to mold not caring if you are alive or dead.
Okay.
When I finally figured out it was mold, and my first doctor who diagnosed it, um, she put me on a drug called nystatin, and I took it because by that point I was 5 months in. I was desperate. I was
Right.
going to do whatever anybody said to feel better. And 4 days in, I just kept imagining myself drowning myself in my tub. And I did not have a history of suicidal thoughts.
Hmm.
And the 5th day, I went to my cabinet and I took the pill bottle out and I went,
Okay.
oh, you're new. But
Oh.
that day before, it was so bad. I'd had a fight with my ex-husband. I couldn't get anyone to help me. I had to call his mother to get any help at all. Like after 12 hours of really like out of my mind, why am I
Okay.
thinking these thoughts
Yeah.
in my day? And when I recognized the drug as what was new in my environment,
Yeah.
I didn't take it. I called my doctor and I said, hey, I can't take this.
Hmm.
And she said, I told you you'd need mental health help to get through this process. And I said, that's not how this works. You
No.
don't give me a drug that gives me suicidal ideation and then I just go talk to somebody about it so I feel better. That's not how we
Yeah.
do this.
No,
And
that's
that was my
terrible.
real turning point.
Yeah.
That was when I had to take matters into my own hands because I couldn't
Yeah.
trust the doctors at all anymore. And I did go to another doctor
That's a
who
valid
charged
point.
$13,000 up front. And because I was desperate.
Right.
But he had the protocol I had researched, and he was going to be the one who could help me. And
Hmm.
his best advice was to not acknowledge my symptoms, which was great advice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It changed my life.
Yeah.
But he also didn't do anything for me. And so when all he
So
had
give me
was
13 grand, and I'm going to tell you, ignore your symptoms. Have a nice day, Sandy. Is that check or cash? Because I'll take either.
I need that job.
Right?
yeah,
I'd be good at that.
he gave me a genetic
Wow.
test that he couldn't interpret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's-
so that
Wow.
I could probably do that.
it's
Dr.
really out of
Chris.
desperation that I've come up with, I had to really
Jeez.
parse all the things.
Yeah.
How did I get better?
Okay.
How did I get sick? How did I get better? Which
Yeah.
things worked? Which things were a waste of money? And
Holy
now I like
smokes.
to share the story because the biggest aggravation people have with the longevity space is that they say it's for tech billionaires. Well, I'm not that.
Right.
And
And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't
I
be
was an
for
entrepreneur,
billionaires.
and I
Right.
had some money to spend
Right.
on my brain, but that money didn't even work.
Yeah.
It didn't
And
get me where I am.
And it shouldn't matter what your financial what's the word? What your financial availability is to get the
Position.
help you need
Yeah.
to live a better, healthier life.
Right.
It's just, I mean, I know what is that, socialism, medical, like Canada, eh? But I just, that's mind-boggling.
Well, there's versions.
$13,000 for nothing. Jeez.
A bunch of tests he didn't know how to interpret.
Jeez, let's smear him. Let's do a smear campaign.
That is terrible. It really is.
It's ridiculous.
And you said it earlier, Sandy. We're not discounting modern medicine because modern medicine has its place. And if you're dying and you need a blood transfusion, you should go get a blood transfusion so
Yeah.
you don't die. If you need whatever to stay alive, my dad's on medicine that keeps his heart in rhythm, right? There's no reason he shouldn't take that because he's a naturalist. There's a version of lunacy on both ends, right? But I think it's important for people to understand, like you said, if you're going to your doctor and you are not getting any better, there's no reason to continue to go to that doctor, right? You should go either get a second opinion or start doing you have the internet at your disposal. You have most of the answers you need. You just have to ask the right questions.
Right. But at the same time, is self-diagnosing always the best approach?
No, that's why I said, I think
Yeah.
and she did it. She went and got a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth opinion, but
Right.
your situation was so unique, and there's a lot of people who end up in these unique situations where you're being attacked by something that is not normal on a day-to-day basis for most people.
Well,
Agreed.
let's talk about what I would have been diagnosed with if I hadn't kept fighting.
Yeah.
Chronic fatigue syndrome,
Right.
an autoimmune condition,
Right.
something, because what it causes is an inflammatory response. They call it chronic inflammatory response syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, that's in 2017, I went to my primary and I got a basic blood panel done. And I said, can we do C-reactive protein? I want to check my inflammation levels. And he said, no, I don't test for that. I was like, why not? And he goes, well, we can't do anything about inflammation, so I don't test for it. But we can do something about inflammation. I'm proof positive we can. And that's what so much of the industry is missing. They're missing the tools and the wherewithal and the motivation to reduce inflammation. We don't even have a really great way to measure it. C-reactive protein, what isn't the best measurement for it. There are other tests that are more specialized that you frankly just can't get from your regular doctor. The interleukin 6, interleukin 9, like you can't get these from your doctor. The insurance companies won't let them order those tests for you. They don't want you to know.
No, of course not. It's kind of like you have the ability to make what's the big rage is diabetes, to make diabetes medicine, very
GLP-1s.
inexpensive. Right.
Yeah.
And they don't. It's like, let's overcharge arm and leg, but you can get Viagra for $5 for a month's supply. So let's make sure you can have sex.
How do you know
At the
that?
same, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
They have a
it pops
commercial
up
every
on-
2 seconds on TV.
I know, no, but it pops up on everything. It's anything you
get
have
those
like.
ads.
The fun thing about this show, right? Because my phone's in front of me. Mike's Mike's phone is in front of him. And we all know that the phones listen to everything. Because as soon as we get done with one of these recordings, all of a sudden I get these different algorithms. My algorithms online are so out of whack.
This podcast has definitely screwed up our...
You're going to get a bunch of menopause ads next.
Oh, I don't doubt that. We had this couple
It's funny he brings that. Sorry to interrupt you. It's funny he brings that up because I was just thinking about that 2 or 3 days ago as I'm sitting at break at work and scrolling through my Facebook. I'm like, what are all these weird? Oh, these are all podcast people. They were all ads for people who had been on here, you know, the Kava guy and...
Yep. Yeah, I get Kava emails now. We had this couple on that they're in the active adult, not the active adult, the swinger lifestyle called the impulsive dual. So all of a sudden I started getting things for that.
Yep, them too.
We've had musicians on, and I started getting things for music and recording. We've had producers on, directors on, actors on, talent agents on. It's this broad spectrum of stuff because we started this thing originally just based on recovery because I'm 21 years sober. Mike's about 15, 18 years clean. So the foundation was that and music. And then we had this stupid little innuendo bit. We were talking for no reason. We had a guest that bailed on us and it was like, I just want a living, breathing human being. And I was like, maybe we have a zombie. And Mike's like, you can't have a zombie. I don't think that would work. Right. So that little less than 60-second clip blew up. And then all of a sudden people started knocking down our door to be guests. And what we call it is life resume. So you have this amazing life resume, which is somehow you prompted to reach out to Mike for you saw something, but so based on what I read, I'm like, we need to get Sandy on, even though I had that little mix up a couple weeks ago. Are you Sean or are you Sandy? Because it was weird. Because I know a guy named Sandy, so that's why it wasn't off-putting to me. I thought maybe it's the same person.
And right away we had the same last name and 2 guests back to back. You guys were so close together in booking.
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh, funny.
It was weird. It was weird. So, but that's the fun thing about this show. It doesn't matter who you are. Like we have comedians on, then all of a sudden I'll have a bunch of comedian shows come up my feed. So when we finish this thing and, it's going to be all about biometrics and different things, health, and because that's what it does, which is neat. So, it's interesting to see what the phone picks up, days after the show.
And then all the things that we've learned. Today we learned that the optic nerve is part of the brain.
It is.
I had no idea.
I had no idea. And the fact that you have that really cool BioEdge decoder, I'm going to share that with a couple people because I think it's fascinating.
Thank you.
I'm pretty damn healthy. My biggest thing is asthma. I've had asthma since I was 3 months old, but I was a product of the environment in Illinois where it's like I had to move where I was going to be dead in 3 months. So we decided Arizona because it's hot. They're tired of the cold. Now, listening to you though, obviously I couldn't make a conscious decision when I was 3 months old, but is asthma really a product of who I am or is it a product of the environment? Because Illinois, all that mold, right? Cold, very
Arizona
conducive
has
to mold
its
growth.
own kind of mold too.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
And so it could
tons
be
of pollen.
Oh, pollen's crazy right now. Arizona's one of the worst states for asthmatics to move to nowadays. There was a point in time where I was allergic to everything in Arizona except horses, dogs, and guinea pigs.
And there was a time in the past where they sent people there who had tuberculosis because it was the perfect arid environment, right?
Right.
But what happened is, for lack of a better term, all the assholes moved from the east and west of Arizona and brought their plants from those states, and they screwed up that desert environment, and now they have what he's describing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They did. Like one of my grandsons is allergic to palo verdes, orange trees, and any type of wood because his dad worked in wood. Like he put in wood floors and stuff. So he'd come home from work and he'd pick up Trip and Trip would break out in hives. So I'm like, what's going on? And then they finally get that whole back allergy test for Trip and realize, oh, you're allergic to all these things that your dad does for a living. So he had to completely change his line of work. And we had to cut down, which I was happy to do, so I hated them, five palo verde trees and an orange tree. Just because those alone were making him chaos, just making his nose constantly run, eyes water. It was terrible. And he's, at the time he was a year and a half old. So he couldn't vocalize anything. He couldn't explain anything. You just constantly running from allergies.
I'm really curious. You said you still have asthma?
I do. It's more, like I have an inhaler. I don't remember last time I took it because it's a PRN. It's a PRN thing. I got to the point when, because I've worked out so much because of my running, things like that. I like when I ran my back-to-back under 6-minute miles, I didn't take my inhaler. You know, I got in such really good physical condition, cardio condition wise, before I broke my foot. And I was basically not able to do any cardio for 8 months. So I just did upper body core. Even that still helps the heart cardiovascular because you're still straining and that type of thing. But when the pollen's out like this time of year, I notice it's even though I'm in shape, I notice there's okay, if I don't catch my breath when I first start running, I can't catch my breath. As long as I start with a good breathing pattern, then I'm cool. But if I'm in the midst of something, one of those days where and there's days like that, I just can't catch my breath. No matter what I do, I just can't catch my breath when I'm running. So then I got to slow down and walk it out and start over again.
So what I think is really fascinating about all of that is that you have demonstrated the ability to shift your biology from something that people thought you were born with.
I never thought of it that way. Cool.
And so
power of the mind
might be difficult.
That's it.
Well, it could be the absence of the alcohol. There might be.
Well, I wasn't drinking when I was 3.
That's true. But what's in alcohol could be in, for the wheat, the barley, the whatever, could have been in your diet in some way. Could have been things about it.
Interesting.
Food sensitivity, a lack of physical vigor, because you weren't running marathons at 3, nor should you. But there are factors that we can shift over time, and our bodies completely change over every 7 years.
Sure, right.
And
it's like a snake shedding their skin, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And our gut lining repairs itself every 3 days. And so
really, I didn't know that.
It's all in a different timetable.
Wow.
But we're constantly remaking ourselves.
That's cool.
That's the piece that I think is brilliant. If you think about the world we live in with AI and how it's going to change everything, also know its limitations. It's limited to language right now. Every smart thing it knows is only based on what we've been able to put into words.
True. And exactly. What you feed, because a year ago, the level of AI was nowhere compared to what it is today.
But
we
our
had
bodies,
a guy on,
our bodies are working in ways that no one has been able to describe. The capacity inside of us is beyond anything ever spoken or written or what have you. So our bodies are still the smartest things on the planet. Smarter than us, smarter than the AI, smarter than anything.
And the body itself is just an amazing thing to begin with, and people don't look at it that way. They just
the brain alone. We don't understand the brain.
No,
starting there, let alone the rest of the body.
That's why it drives, and I'm not slamming people, but that's why it drives you nuts when you see somebody who's so just overtly obese and just so unhealthy and out of shape. Like, you have one body, you have one soul, you have one life. You're choosing to live like that. I can't wrap my head around that. When you have the ability of self-control and to be, you don't have to be crazy fitness, but you have the ability to exercise and take care of yourself, and you know what you're eating is good or bad.
But they don't know they have the ability.
My ex-husband was 400
I guess that's a good point. Say that again?
My ex-husband was 400 pounds.
Ouch.
We ate the same things. We worked the same job. We had the same lifestyle.
How tall was he?
5'11". And he was a big guy.
Yeah.
And so what I know is that in the same living environment, he tested as having more mold in his body than I did, but it didn't affect his brain.
Weird.
Because his fat kept it from harming him.
Wow.
And so think about every obese person that you see and those fat cells being intelligent. And those fat cells being there for a reason. They're a protective layer. They pull toxins out and store them away.
Wow.
So that you can function. And then it can just get like
out of control.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
And so if somebody's in a situation where their body is saying, no, I've got you. Let me put this insulating layer so you can keep going.
Yeah.
There's a tipping point, right? Where it becomes difficult to get back on track.
Yeah.
But if we're not interpreting the signal correctly,
Yeah.
In the beginning, when the fat starts to come on, we just get a little dad bod, or we just get a little junk in the trunk, or we get whatever, whatever
Right.
stereotype we want to discuss here.
Yeah.
Then we're not recognizing that the body's doing that to help us.
True. That's
Because
interesting.
the sugar that we ate, it doesn't have the ability to process fully. So I'll just store that as fat.
Okay.
Because I don't have the ability. I've been overloaded. As my body's like, no. Okay, I'll store it. And if we don't catch that signal early on, then we can become obese and extremely unhealthy. But it's those early signs. That's kind of the whole point of my work. It's those early signs.
Yeah. Okay.
Where we can shift and make a change.
That's
Otherwise, it's really hard to reverse a body that's just so overprotective that it's obese to that level.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, and so you just described two things. The same diet doesn't apply to everybody, right? You just said it. So people telling you that this diet or that diet works, that's all shit advice. You have to figure out what works for you, because everybody's different. And you just said it. The other thing is some people just get a shit roll of the dice. They just do. You're genetically challenged from the get-go. So you're either going to have to work harder, or like you just said, you're going to succumb to obesity. You're going to succumb to whatever it is, whatever oddity it is that people are going to look at you and say, why is that person different? Part of it's just your genetics too.
But it's no more than half genetics.
Agreed.
They used to think it was 7%. They came out last week and said, no, we actually have new markers now. We believe it's 50%, 50-50. Your genetics can affect your overall outcome, but it's not deterministic outside of a couple of things.
No, and it can't be, because too many people overcome those obstacles and prove that theory wrong, that it could be over 50%, because if you were subject to obesity, there would be nothing you could do to not be obese.
Yeah, I come from obese people, but I was bound and determined not to be. And so I'm not.
There you go. Mindset. This has been fascinating. Oh, it's not sharing. I thought I was sharing. So this has been fascinating. We have been talking with Sandy Martin, who's all about hacking your biochemistry, what you want to call it. She has a BioEdge Longevity Summit coming in July 10th and 11th in New York City at the Metropolitan Pavilion. Our website is bioedgelongevity.com. Go there, check it out. You can click learn more. I'm assuming that's where you click more to get information about the event, tickets to go, etc. Very, very fascinating for sure. I wasn't expecting this based on what you shared, which is why we love doing what we do, because the conversation takes us where we go, and it's I've learned a ton. I know Mike's learned a ton. You've got a great handle on all this stuff, and I'm going to share your website like crazy to people that I think would would really, really, truly benefit from it. Just the biodecoding thing was fantastic. So everybody go to bioedgelongevity.com. Take a look at Sandy Martin's stuff. Go to her event. You can buy her book. It's on Amazon. I saw that a minute ago.
Did you notice that's what Shatner at the top of the page?
Where is it?
In the video right there. You see it?
Oh.
That's Bill.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
He was at my first event.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Shatner.
Yeah.
That's okay. I kind of thought that, but I was like, I wasn't going to jump to conclusion, but right on, Bill Shatner. Okay, boys and girls, Bill Shatner, okay, believes in BioEdge longevity. So that's all
you need to know.
There you go.
That alone.
That is all you need to know.
Captain Kirk, okay? Captain Kirk believes in Sandy Martin. That's amazing. She's Sandy Martin. Go check her out, bioedgelongevity.com. We wrap every show up like this. If you're feeling suicidal or depressed, don't do it. Tomorrow is a better day with you in it. Don't leave a hole in somebody else's heart because you decided to leave this planet. Go run, go jog, go journal, go scream in a pillow, go find somebody to talk to. If you cannot find somebody to talk to, we urge you to text 988. Somebody is there right now willing to talk to you and just figure out how to make that you get off that ledge and have a better day, because the world's a better day with you in it, and we want you there tomorrow, because Mike and I both been affected by it. I seriously doubt anybody who's ever watched our show has not had somebody they know that has taken their life. So don't do it. Don't do that. Again, Sandy Martin, BioEdgeLongevity.com. Anything else you want to share with us before we wrap this up?
I just want to say thanks for having me on. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
You are awesome. You are awesome. We have to have you come back on again, because I'm sure we could talk another 5 hours on this subject, because there's so many different things that we could totally dive down that path.
Yeah.
But for sake of not losing people's interest, let's bookshelf this one, and then we'll get you back on again in June. We'll talk some more about the other things you're doing, and we can plug your summit again and make sure we get that place filled up with people, and then. You got a selfie with Bill? Did Bill and you take a picture?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right
yeah.
on. So you got to share that.
On my YouTube page of Bill in a PEMF chair and how he felt, and it's hysterical. It's perfect.
Awesome. What's the YouTube page? What's the YouTube page?
It's at BioEdge Longevity.
At BioEdge Longevity is at YouTube. So we're going to subscribe. Check that out. We'll drop it on our page as well. Truly appreciate you being on the show, because time is the most valuable commodity we all have. So we appreciate you taking time to come and join us today and talk. And glad we figured out the time thing, because everybody gets confused because I don't change my clocks. So when people ask me what time it is, I'm like, I don't know. Mike was trying to explain to me, I'm like, dude, you're going over my head. So I'm Arizona. This is what time it is. So that's why I type. It's 8:18 as I type this email. What time is it there? Because I don't know. I lived
out there for almost 18 years. Yeah. And as I'm explaining this to him and I'm seeing the deer in the headlights look, I just started getting quieter and quieter. I was like, oh yeah, I remember what that was like.
Yeah. We don't change our clocks. We just don't. And really, daylight saving time was created for farmers.
It was not. That's a myth. Google it.
Okay, well, I sounded good.
Is it really?
I thought it was.
It was mostly due to the railroads before GPS, so that you weren't starting trains at the same time and they didn't crash into each other. There's several reasons for it, but that was the big one. Was it had a lot to do with the railroads.
But it doesn't need to be there anymore. Just make it all the same time.
Let's
just
blame Rockefeller for something else.
So now, where are you? What state are you in, Sandy?
I'm in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. That explains it. So you're 3 hours ahead.
I am.
Okay. See, that explains it.
See, you just figured it out that quick.
Well, because you told me before the show, man.
I know, and you remembered. You retained. I'm proud of this guy.
It's because I don't have mold in my brain yet. Who knows? Could be. That wasn't a slight at you, Sandy. I was just, I processed it. I processed it.
We know she has a sense of humor after talking to her for an hour.
Yeah, she does. Thank you so much again. We appreciate you. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Thanks
Don't
again,
go anywhere,
Sandy.
Yes. Thank you, Sandy. You're awesome.
freezer.